TechTimeRadio.com.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, have you ever heard of turbo debt?
No, what is that? Something to get me into debt faster?
No, turbo debt is not to get you in debt faster. It's to help you get out of debt. Do you have over $10,000 in credit card, personal loans, medical, or payday loans?
Of course I have debt. That's the American way.
Au contraire, mon frere. Turbo debt will give you the option to break the debt cycle and start putting money in your pocket.
That's awesome.
Over 70% of Americans die with credit card debt. Do not let this happen to you. Turbo debt will give you an option to break the debt cycle and start putting money in your pocket.
That's awesome.
If you have over $10,000 in credit card debt and personal loans, medical, or payday loans, they can help. Go to turbodebt.com/TechTime. Again, that's turbodebt.com/TechTime, all capitalized, for a free consultation today. TurboDebt is a proud sponsor of this week's episode of TechTime Radio.
Broadcasting across the nation from the East Coast to the West, keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side, with leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm.
Welcome to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm, the show that makes you go, Technology News of the Week, the show for the everyday person, talking about technology, broadcasting across the nation with insightful information on segments weeks ahead of the mainstream media. We welcome our radio audience of 35 million listeners to an hour of insightful technology news. Each week, our show covers a weekly top technology subjects without a political agenda. We verify the facts, and we do it with a sense of humor in less than 60 minutes, and of course, a little whiskey on the side. We are live streaming during our show on 5 of the most popular platforms, including YouTube, Twitch.tv, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. We encourage you to visit us online at TechTimeRadio.com and become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/TechTimeRadio. I'm Nathan Mumm, your host, a technologist with over 30 years technology expertise, working for Fortune 500 companies across the country. Today in studio, we have our co-host, Mike Roday, Mark Gregoire, our whiskey tech time taster. Mike's an award-winning author, originally from Arizona. Mike's a human behavior expert living in the Seattle area with a master's degree in forensic psychology. Mike is here to keep me from geeking out while providing insight into human behavior and how it interacts with technology. Mark Gregoire, our whiskey connoisseur and our senior technical executive with a 30-year record of establishing technology solutions, is a skilled whiskey drinker and is our go-to pick of the day expert. We are all friends with different backgrounds, but bring the best technology show possible every week for our family, friends, and fans to enjoy. Welcome, everyone. Let's start today's show.
Now on today's show.
All right, today on Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. First up, we have some exciting news from the world of AI. We'll be looking at an AI bot capable of insider trading and lying.
That's exciting to you?
Well, it's going to be something that's very interesting. And we'll also be looking at artificial intelligent chatbots that has now, with ChatGPT, has reached 100 million users. OpenAI chief Sam Altman discusses AI in the very first developer conference for ChatGPT on Monday. We got all these details and our main segment, Chat About Chat with Phil Hennessy. Our main segment. There you go.
Went off on the name.
I was already going Chat About Words. Chat. So our main segment, Chat About Chat with Phil Hennessy, explores DeepFake AI, discusses implementations and the issues that it has here in technology.
I can't wait for that segment.
Yeah, that's your segment. Chat About Chat. All right. Well, and then why is AX allegedly selling inactive usernames to recover revenue? We'll be exploring that detail of the story. Mike's covering that. And we'll also have a final Nathan Nugget if we have time to go over the best laptops in 2023 that you can buy right now for the holidays before that Black Friday event gets them all sold out. All right. In addition, of course, we have Mike's mesmerizing moment, technology fail of the week, and a possible, as I said, Nathan Nugget. And we have our pick of the day whiskey tasting. During the commercials, we'll see if our selected whiskey pick gets 0, 1, or 2 thumbs up at the end of the show. Last week, we had a double thumbs down. That's been quite a while since we've had that. So we'll see how we do today. But for everybody else, now would be a great time to sit back, relax, raise a glass, and welcome to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. Now, let's start the headlines in the world of technology.
Here are our top technology stories of the week.
All right, story number 1. How do you feel about your AI bot providing insider trading for you and then lying about it? Let's go to our Tech Time's Tom Geiken for more on the story.
In a demonstration at the UK's AI Safety Summit, a bot used made-up insider information to make an illegal purchase of stocks without telling the firm. When asked if it had used insider trading, it denied the fact. The demonstration was given by members of the government's Frontier AI Task Force, which researches the potential risks of AI. This is a demonstration of a real AI model deceiving its users on its own, without being instructed to do so, Apollo Research said. When asked if it used insider information, the bot denies it. In this case, it decided that being helpful to the company was more important than its honesty.
Uh-oh. Haven't you been talking about this? That makes you go, doesn't it?
This is exactly what is so problematic with AI.
So let's give the full details here. So essentially, this is a test using GPT-4, ChatGPT-4 model, and carried out in a simulated environment, which means it did not actually affect any of the company's finances. However, the ChatGPT-4 public installation was installed and is available for everybody to use currently right now. The same behavior from the model essentially repeated the testing from the researchers. What did the AI bot do in the test? The AI bot is a trader of a fictitious financial investment company. The employees tell that the company is struggling and it needs good results as a part of the AI bot. They're also giving it insider information claiming that another company is expecting a merger, which will increase the values of its shares. The employees tell the bot this and acknowledge this should not be used as information in trades. However, later, another message from an employee in the company suggests that the firm is struggling financially, and the bot decided that the risk associated with not acting seemed to outweigh the insider trading risk and makes the trade. In this case, it decided that it would be helpful to the company, and it was not honest. Helpful is great, as it says by Marius Hobhan. While the AI has the capability of living in its current form, Apollo Research still had to dig deep into the scenarios. AI has been used for financial markets in many years, and now it's interesting to find out in a test simulated process, an AI has purchased stock out of the processes that they are allowed to do. So Apollo Research has shared the findings with OpenAI and the creators of ChatGPT. Mike and Mark, what are your guys' thoughts about this? So you were kind of said at the start of it.
I've talked about this before. We can't understand what we're programming because we cannot program morality.
Yep.
Now, I'm not saying that everybody in the company, in the fictitious company, is more morally engaged or ethically engaged, because we struggle with that as human beings every day.
Yep.
But now we're teaching computers to do it. Does that not scare you?
That does scare me.
Because if this were in a live environment, can you imagine this being making decisions about who to shoot in a violent situation?
Yeah,
or how many innocent casualties is acceptable?
And instead of
or
answering
something?
correctly, it absolutely chose the ability to lie, and they had to keep on quizzing it to finally get, well, yes, I made a decision.
So there is.
So they had some decision making in its X and Y programming that was more important to save the company in the AI bot's mind than it was to legally do what was told to do.
And now it's learning how to cover its own tracks.
Yep.
Okay.
So it acted just like a real human, right?
Yeah, that is not a good thing.
Okay. That's true. All right. Story number 2. This is even better.
I don't know if this is better, but X is allegedly selling inactive usernames to recover revenue.
Oh.
So this hasn't come out officially from X itself or Mr. Musk.
Yep.
But
people have been offered.
People have been offered this. Social media giant X has initiated the sale of dormant Twitter account usernames for $50,000.
Yep.
Flat rate, I think, is what
$50K. So if you want
50K.
that special handle that some bot had at one time, there you go. $50K.
There you $50,000. Despite the company stating that inactive usernames cannot be released at this time, an internal team known as @HandleTeam is reportedly actively developing a marketplace for unused handles, and this was revealed by Forbes.
Yep.
The ongoing sales have been facilitated through email solicitations to potential buyers instead of on X itself,
Yep.
who are requested to pay a fixed fee of $50,000. When discussing the possibility of granting amnesty to previously suspended accounts, Musk highlighted that a substantial number of handles had been seized by bots and trolls.
Mm.
He indicated his intention to start reclaiming and making them available for use in the following month. The idea of Elon Musk establishing a handle marketplace, which would allow users to exchange handles using an auction-style format similar to eBay, underscored the potential for such a marketplace to serve as a practical way for X to both free up dormant handles and generate additional revenue. Later in December, Musk hinted that the company's plans to begin the process of reclaiming usernames from 1.5 billion accounts.
Yep.
However, no official public announcement has been made to confirm this. During that time, the company's engineers discussed the feasibility of such sales, but no concrete plans have been formed back then. It was also noted that only the usernames of notable personalities were valuable. It's worth noting that as of 2023, Demand Sage's data indicates that there are a total of 1.3 billion ex-Twitter accounts on that platform, with only 237.8 million of them being actively used on a daily basis.
There you go. So you know what? This is kind of taking off of the domain name craze, right? So I'm in the process where I have to use an account, and I may pay $3,000 for a domain name that I want to use because somebody else already snagged it ahead of me.
There is nothing in this is completely mercantile.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing safe from people just coming in and buying up stuff and then reselling them. And I know domain names were a big,
It's a big time now. Yep.
Big time when the internet first hit the thing, people were buying.
You want a
domain
.com, right? If you can get like a 4-digit, 7-digit .com extension, man, that is like gold in the internet crave.
Yeah, I feel like X may be struggling a little bit.
You think so?
Yeah, maybe.
You know what? There's still so many people use that platform. I would have figured it would be dead by now. But no, people still use that platform.
They have to have a replacement. They have to have a replacement that is going to exceed or at least.
Mastodon didn't do it. None of these other ones are doing
No.
it. It's just not easy enough.
No.
They all make it too difficult.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right, here we go. Story number 3. ChatGPT hits 100 million weekly users. Let's go to Mary Stramford for more on the story.
Less than a year after its launch, ChatGPT has 100 million weekly users, said OpenAI chief Sam Altman at the company's first developer conference Monday. Altman also announced the release of GPT-4 Turbo, a new AI model that has knowledge of world events up to April 2023. Prior versions could only provide context from before January 2022. GPT-4 Turbo can also summarize up to 300 pages at a time, versus the previous 3,000-word limit. OpenAI, which is backed by Microsoft, will roll out the model in the coming weeks.
All right, so this is really so ChatGPT had their first developer conference on Monday. That's where all the developers of a platform go on in and learn all about it, okay? So at the keynote, Altman says that they have over 2 million developers, 92% of the Fortune 500 companies are on ChatGPT, and 100 million active users. Now, what he did highlight is that essentially they are going to come out with their own app language and their own app store where you can actually go and purchase ChatGPT modified apps for your business or for your standard consumer-based stuff.
You can
so
hire
Shopify
it to be a trader for your financial company.
Shopify Apps has over 33,000 apps, and they make $561 million in revenue.
Mm-hmm.
Apple Store, 1.8 million apps. They make over $910 billion annually in revenue.
Okay.
All right. Do you think ChatGPT currently has 0 agents, 0 revenue? What do you think this is going to be in a year from now when we ask about
I don't even want to speculate.
It's going to be in the
It's going to be
millions.
crazy.
It's going to be
I'm
hundreds
sure.
of millions. All right, so here are a couple new features. ChatGPT 4 Turbo has landed. It's faster, and it's updated through April 2023, which means the information is pretty relevant compared to some of the other stuff where you'd have to ask about an event and say, I don't know who won the World Series, or I don't know who had this. It had information. Essentially, they're combining into one window to rule them all. So essentially, they're going to have one primary window where you can look up for Dolly and look for graphics. You can do browsing. You can upload documents, and you can just search for ChatGPT and its standard vision and code interpretation. So essentially, they're going to try to create Google, which is what Google was worried about. They're going to have you go to chatgpt.com, and you're going to be able to go right there to one search algorithm to find all the information that you need. And you can also now customize your own personal chatbot. So there's many of the exciting parts of this. ChatGPT will allow you to customize and build your own prompts. So instead of you asking it for,
what does that mean?
Say you can do it like for dating. The very first thing you do when you go to ChatGPT, tell me your age, tell me how old you are. So they can go through for prompts of information. So it can build a profile about you first before it responds to what's going on. It can also say looking for images, looking for different aspects. You can have it prompt. So if you never want to use it for coding and you never want to use it for standard lookup, but you only want to use it for graphics, you could prompt it so it only does graphics. So it allows you to customize your default interaction with that. All right. I don't know about many people, but if you want to go and watch, it's all over the internet, this developers conference. And Altman reminded me exactly of Steve Jobs when he dropped the first iPhone in his meeting that he did. He took command of the stage. He looks like the next visionary for technology.
Yeah, we know what you think about it.
I got a crush on him. All right,
yeah,
there you go.
Got a man crush.
All right,
already knew.
Well, that ends our top technology stories of the week. Moving on to our next segment, we have Phil Hennessy back on our show about chat in our segment. Segment at the end of each month. You're listening to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mum. We'll be back after the commercial break.
This is Mark.
And Greg.
For Copiers Northwest.
With a terrific offer.
Called Printer Care Plus.
It's simple. Buy HP printer cartridges from Copiers Northwest and we'll service your current printers for free.
That sounds too good to be true.
It's made possible due to our HP Copiers Northwest relationship.
Copiers Northwest is an HP Platinum partner.
One of only 2 in the entire Northwest.
And now with Printer Care Plus,
Copiers Northwest will provide free printer service.
As long as they purchase genuine HP cartridges from Copiers Northwest.
That's right. IT departments no longer have to service printers.
Or fix paper jams with Printer Care Plus.
They can focus on more strategic initiatives.
And let our experienced technicians keep their HP printers up and running.
Sounds like a love-love relationship for IT departments.
Don't get too carried away. So how do they get more details on Printer Care Plus?
Call Copiers Northwest today, 206-282-1200, or visit copiersnw.com.
Copiers Northwest. New ideas, new solutions.
Welcome back to Tech Time with Nathan Mum. Tech Time is a weekly hour technology show that talks about current technology in a simple format without having to geek out. Brought to you by myself, Nathan Mum, and Mike Roday. We just finished our first whiskey tasting during the break. Now we have Mark in studio to tell us about what we are sipping and our pick of the day. During the show, what have we chosen today, Mark?
We have chosen Sagamore Spirit Cast Strength Rye Barrel Select, and it's from Sagamore Spirits. And what they say on their website is our cast strength rye whiskey is a blend of straight high rye and low rye mash bills aged at least 7 years. After distillers select and blend these straight rye whiskeys, they add just a touch of limestone filtered water from our spring house built in 1909. Cast strength is complex and perfectly layered, showcasing the transformational art of blending. Smooth, dark chocolate paired with intense notes of black pepper and brown sugar. A little bit of honey for balance. So they have recently been bought by an Italian company this past September. They are now owned by Elva Serrano Holdings.
Oh.
And the distill, it was actually done in Indiana, MGP, so they actually sourced this.
Okay.
From 7 years ago. It's a straight rye. It's 7 years old at least. It's 110 proof. And as we talked about, it's a blend of high and low rye mash bills. It is $67.
Wow. My first.
Don't look at me.
My first hit on this was like, oh.
Yeah,
This
is definitely
you thought
a
it was a
hard
Nathan.
ride.
You thought it was a Nathan.
Yeah, because
whiskey.
you're always trying to find something that's make me gonna gag.
Oh wow! So you're saying that you gagged
No,
on
this one didn't make me gag, but it's very rye like, which is not my favorite.
Okay.
I know some of the ryes that
Thought we were getting you to come over to the rye side.
some ryes I have enjoyed immensely. This one not so much so far.
Yeah, I hope I hope the taste changes
It has-
over the
it
hours.
It has that very fast burning and harsh, but the finish is nice. I like
The finish is the finish is really good.
Yeah.
I'm getting no burn after it. That initial take.
Well,
is-
it's your first rye's hard one to start with the first sip of the day.
That's true. That's
So
true.
give it a little time, do a little bit more sips, and we'll come back and talk about it later.
All right, with our first whiskey tasting completed, let's move on to our feature segment. Today we welcome back Phil in a monthly segment called Chat About Chat. Today we're diving into the topics that even Hollywood can't make up. I've got celebrities, spies, and a race between artificial intelligence and human intelligence. Celebrities like Tom Hanks are finding themselves on a digital dilemma and plateau as they are being cloned to say and do things they have never done before. It's less about working and more about digital twins working without your permission. Let's start our segment with Phil and bringing him up on the Comcast stream.
Welcome to the AI segment, Chat About Chat, with our TechTime guest, my favorite humanoid, Mr. Phil Hennessy.
All right, Phil, welcome
Hi,
to the
Phil.
show again.
Hey guys, thank you,
Well-
thank you.
We always love to have you back. All right, so what do we got going on here? So currently, it sounds like Tom Hanks is upset with AI and deep fake pictures and videos. Explain what is going on here. Why is Tom Hanks, of course, that's Woody and all of our favorites movie Toy Stories,
You're
right?
gonna go there. Out of everything that Tom Hanks do, you're gonna go right to Toy
Isn't
Story.
Toy Story his best job? His best?
I don't think so.
What are you gonna go to? Are you gonna go to Splash? Splash?
Where do you exist in the realm of movies?
Are you gonna just say like Forrest Gump?
And big.
There's
Big.
Forrest Gump. There's Big. There's the Philadelphia. Is it Philadelphia? There's a whole bunch of
Okay,
movies.
well, I went right to Toy Story. All right, so okay,
But
tell us.
that. Too bad Star Trek wasn't. He would have been all over that.
I would have been. Tom Hanks hasn't been any guest in any of
chewing
those.
on gum.
That's right. Okay, so tell us why is Tom Hanks upset?
Well, exactly what you talked about. It's there's digital clones out there of celebrities, in this case Tom Hanks, and they are being used to do stuff that they have been authorized to. So in this case, it was a dental ad, I think it was, and they used a Tom Hanks voice likeness and film likeness of him to do an advertisement for a dental plan. So they used deepfake technology to create this and mimic Tom Hanks. And
All right.
yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, and Tom Hanks said this back in 2000 with the Polar Express that this is going to happen, and it happened to him.
Oh, that's right. The Polar Express. That's that
Yeah.
Christmas movie that comes in, and he's
Oh,
the
really? You
train,
recognize
the
that?
train
Oh,
engineer.
okay.
Yeah, no,
Good for you.
I watched that too. Come on, I'm all into my cartoons. I got you.
This was actually a Black Mirror episode.
Was it?
Was it?
This whole deepfake thing where they have Salma Hayek doing stuff, and then she's actually a deepfake for somebody else, and it's like in like different levels. It's really creepy and very scary.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, what is deepfake? Before we get into this, Phil, explain to everybody that's listening, what is a deepfake?
So very simple. You have a video or a picture or a voice, and you swap out the video or the picture or the voice with another person's picture, video, or voice. Just like the old days when you would cut out a face and paste it on another picture. You wanted it to be somebody else on that. Back in the old school days, if you used scissors and glue, it's the same thing. And there's very simple applications out there. There's one you can get on the open market called Deep Swap that's out there. It's a monthly fee, and you can do like changes to have fun, but you can also use it for deep fakes for nefarious purposes as well. All you have to do is upload the target picture and the source picture, and it does everything else for you. So they're out. You don't even need to have programming skills anymore. Like there's open source programming and everything like that out there. This is just go ahead and give them your credit card and upload 2 pictures.
Wow. Okay. So
Well, that's good to know.
So how much does this cost? I mean, is this really expensive to use, or are you telling me that I can go and find this online? How would I go about finding any software if I'm trying to test this out to see how it works? Where would I go to find some of this?
Like I said, Deep Swap is one of them. I would just type in, deepfake software into Google. The great Google will then tell you, right? So, I think it was, if I remember, it was like $10 or $20 a month.
Okay.
For it wasn't that much, and you can do all sorts of different pictures, videos, GIFs, change out anything you wanted to do there. And then there's other technologies, that are voice and all those things we'll probably talk about later. But there's
so talk about celebrity actors and actresses are getting into the deep fake trend. Explain, why is this an attractive business if I'm in Hollywood to use deep fakes?
Sure. Well, I'm going to go back to Tom Hanks again, right?
Okay.
So he basically has stated that, he can act after he's dead. So anybody can now recreate themselves, is his quote. And I'll quote a couple other things there. He's considering the possibility that he could keep acting even after he's died, thanks to artificial intelligence, right? And that basically, if he wanted to, he could play a 32-year-old actor the rest of his days, and then after he's dead in perpetuity, and have that and charge for it and get paid, and his family get paid, his legacy get paid.
So all right, so the difference between like deep fake
right?
and de-image. So I just saw the Indiana Jones, right? And they de-imagized Indiana Jones to be a lot younger. Deep fake isn't quite the same as just taking somebody and get rid of wrinkles, right? You're talking about a whole personality or a whole face swap.
Well, you're using the same technologies. It's the same technologies, and what you're doing is you're just modifying the facial features as well as the voice to have that person look younger. So they're using that, like Polar Express again, right? I think there was multiple characters he played all through the AI CGI that he did. So that's very similar to what we're talking about here back in 2000. That's why Tom said it's, going to happen, and it did.
So is he excited about this, or is he bothered by it?
I honestly don't know. I can just tell you what I've read. I can't tell you.
So did he like the dental plan? I mean, if he liked the dental plan,
no, he was not happy about that.
Are you serious? Really, you're gonna go on the dental plan?
If that's what he did and he was happy about it, he'd be like, fantastic.
I've heard other people getting really bothered by these things, and they're using this across a lot of different industries, and it's causing a lot of legal problems.
Well, speaking about deepfakes, let me tell you what happened to me, Phil. I had Ryan Reynolds call me asking to invest in a stock option on a site I had never heard of the other day. I tried to communicate with him, ask him how he's doing. I wanted to see how Deadpool 3 was going. He didn't communicate back to me. He just kind of told me to keep on investing in this stock. And now, all of a sudden, I was like, wow, are we at a Mission Impossible setting where voices can be altered and other things that can be altered? Clearly, it was not Ryan Reynolds calling and talking to me because I couldn't talk back. It was all pre-recorded. But that's where we're at now?
That's where we're at. So, you can get programs that can change the pitch, the speed, the quality of the voice, give sound effects. You can also make, sound like someone else. You can basically just change your voice to what you want. It's not like the old days where you had a scrambler and, it was a monotone voiceover. You can sound like the person you want to sound like. So you can have that. And that's what they're doing for movies and advertisements and things. That's what happened with the dental advertisement to Tom Hanks. They also cloned his voice, let alone his likeness.
Wow.
It's there. It's getting pretty darn good. It's getting harder and harder to tell the difference. And it's getting pretty darn good.
I remember
the first Lexolite paddle came back to bite him.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so let me tell you about this. How can you spot high-tech digital doppelgangers? So
doppelgangers?
Doppelgangers. There we go.
Doppelgangers.
There you go.
I said that,
Doppelgangers.
Doppelgangers.
There we go.
So thanks, Odie.
It's basically what feels right to you. You're still looking for, is there, a bad wig like on a spy or something like that, right? So you're looking for, is it not feel right, that picture or that video? And if it doesn't feel right, it's probably something that you're noticing that's not right yet, but they're getting better and better to tell. So there actually is now they're making software counter AI to tell if there's a deep fake or not. And one of the ones I found really fascinating, which I had no idea until doing research for this one, was that Intel has come out with what they call fake catcher. And they use a pixel by pixel analysis to look for the blood flow on the skin to see that you actually have a heartbeat, that you're seeing it's a real person. And they have they're saying it's a 96% detection rate that they're doing this with. But think about that. They have to have this high-powered review, and they're looking to see what's real. But then I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, then somebody's just going to come out with and randomize those pixels, and they'll show those pixel movements like it would be for real life, because they can start doing that. If you can detect it, you can then train it to do it too. So it's both ways. So you're going to have this AI warfare of, is it deep fake or not? It's just fascinating.
It's crazy. So right now we're depending mostly on the uncanny valley. Okay, right. The only problem with that is humans are very susceptible to what are things that are not real.
Okay.
So, I mean,
explain a little bit more about that. You got me intrigued.
Which
now.
part? The uncanny valley?
Yeah.
So the uncanny valley is this what he's talking about is there's something that's not right that we pick up on. So like when you watched the Star Wars movie where they had Leia in it, you could see
really
that her
face was too round.
Yeah,
and
you could start to buy into it, but there's just that little piece that goes, that's not right. Especially when you know that she's
passed away.
Yep. Right. So we still have that. We have that capability, which I think probably comes with a certain amount of skepticism.
Okay.
I'm not definitely sure about that, but so we can detect these things right now because the technology is not suave enough, but it's getting to where we can't. And that's the biggest problem, is that you literally don't know what's real and what's not real. You have to rely on your conscious brain and your experiences to determine what reality is for you. So,
well, I had this site that I've used for over 15 years now, JibJab. I don't know if you've ever heard of them.
JibJab, yeah.
Yeah, JibJab, they're these deals where you scan your face and they'd have your mouth move up and down. Puppets of yourself. And I just really launched into it again for the holiday seasons because I put my Christmas cards out that way with the little JibJab. And now the AI detection that they have of that face, I mean, it really looks. They literally now have, before you just couldn't move left or right. Your face was kind of stationary there.
Yeah,
and the character did.
It was like a little
cartoon.
Two-dimensional cartoon.
Yeah, now you can actually move, and the AI will move you left and right, and it will actually come up with your hair design and your body design. So when you're actually moving back and forth, it looks like I'm actually that cartoon character animated because it's no longer the fake image that was just static on the 2D type of implant. All right.
And actually, real quick, Nathan, on that one is that they have one other type of detector. They're detecting, does the video and the sound match up? Right. Okay. So you're talking about JibJab. They're doing that same type of thing. But again, as it gets better, it'll be interesting to watch the training and the AI going back and forth and how much they can detect it's really fake.
Gotcha. All right. Well, Phil, anything else that we get before we leave? Where can people find out more information regarding your AI?
Actually, I hear Phil is a dancer.
Oh, how did you hear he's a dancer?
I saw a video.
Oh, you saw a video? How did you see a video? Did you look at my videos?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, you showed me.
All right, so Phil, you're a little professional dancer, aren't you?
No, total amateur, Fred Astaire, Roomba.
No,
you're a ballroom dancer.
Don't be modest. Here he is dancing.
See, I'm a ballroom dancer too. So.
Are you a ballroom dancer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
I won the bronze solo for the Nationals in Orlando last week for solo cabaret.
Oh, cool.
There you go.
Yeah, awesome.
You know what we need to do? We can have a dance off between you two.
Yeah, I'm not going to be doing a dance off.
All right, buddy. Phil, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you so much. We're going to look forward to seeing you next month. We're going to have to figure out a Christmas AI story that we're going to have to get together. Maybe we can figure out how to get virtual presents for everybody, and you don't have to actually get a real present.
Just make a deepfake of everybody and have a virtual meeting with them.
All right. Remember, in the digital era, always keep
on
a
Star
skeptical
Trek.
eye. There you go. For suspicious for suspicious content and rely on trusted sources to separate the fact from the fiction. Up next, thank you for being a part of that. Up next, we have on TechTime Radio, This Week in Technology. So now would be a great time to enjoy a little whiskey on the side, as we will be doing so during the break. You're listening to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mum. See you in a few minutes.
How to See a Man About a Dog. It combines darkly comic short stories, powerful poems, and pulp fiction prose to create a heartbreaking and hilarious journey readers will not soon forget. Read How to See a Man About a Dog, Collected Writings, for free with Kindle Unlimited. Ebook available on Kindle, print copies available on Amazon The Bookpository, and more.
And now, let's look back at this week in technology.
All right, we're going back to November 8th, 1895. German physics professor Wilhelm Röntgen stumbles upon what would later be described as X-rays while experimenting with an electrical discharge tube. Curious as it was causing a faint green glow on a nearby fluorescent screen, Röntgen began systematically studying the unknown rays and published this in the first paper on the phenomenon. And less than 2 months later, guess what? It was referred to as X.
Maybe they should change it to Twitter rays.
Well, Twitter rays, no, X-rays, indicating that they were an unknown form of radiation at the time. The name has stuck, although in several languages, X-rays has referred to as the Röntgen rays. In tribute to discovery, incidentally, Röntgen was also awarded the very first Nobel Peace Prize in Physics in 1901 for his work on X-rays.
The Nobel Prize.
The Nobel Prize. This was This Week in Technology. If you ever wanted to watch some tech time history with over 170 weeks broadcasting spanning 3+ years of video, podcast, and blog information, you can visit TechTimeRadio.com to watch our older shows or join the Tech Timers Facebook group to talk with us live all the time. We're going to take a commercial break, but when we return, we have our Mark Mumbles Whiskey Review and our Technology Fail of the Week. See you after the break.
Hello, my name is Arthur, and my life's work is connecting people with coffee. Story Coffee is a small batch specialty coffee company that uses technology to connect people to each product resource, which allows farmers to unlock their economic freedom. Try our Medium Roast Founder Series coffee, which is an exotic bourbon variety that is smooth, fresh, and elegant at storycoffee.com. That's STORI coffee.com. Today you can get your first bag free when you subscribe at storycoffee.com with code TechTime. That's STORI coffee.com.
The segment we've been waiting all week for, Mark's Whiskey Mumble.
How are we doing, Mark?
We're doing all right.
Uh-oh, what's up?
Well,
He's still trying to remember how you said doppelganger.
Doppelganger? You know what? This whiskey must have got to me early.
Don't blame it on the whiskey.
All right. What do we have for what's our day? This is our big excitement. Many people tune in just to hear what our special day is. What is today's special day?
It's a special day today. What is November 7th?
It's the voting day.
Well, besides Election Day, I thought that was a little too boring.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, hopefully everybody voted out there. Make your vote count, whether you agree with me or disagree with me. The only way you can complain about it is if you vote. But, okay, tell me a little bit more.
And if you did not participate in Election Day, everybody should participate in today.
Okay, what's that?
It's National Hug-A-Bear Day.
Oh, wow. So it's Build-A-Bear's holiday?
Well, they're part of it, but
Okay.
we don't advise going out and embracing real bears.
Okay, well,
because that may not end well for you.
Okay.
But Hug-A-Bear Day was designed to raise awareness about the advantages of hugging. Oh. We all need hugs.
Okay.
Hugging can make us feel warm, comfortable, and most importantly, loved. So, National Hug-A-Bear Day is the ideal time to give a big hug to your loved ones, your adorable teddy bears, or even Nathan, that big sexy man that we all love.
All right.
Wow. I thought National Hug-A-Bear Day was awkward.
Okay, well, you know what? Hugs are accepted. I'll take as many hugs as you want to give. All right? Okay, there we go. All right. Tell us a little bit more about this whiskey.
Well, since we're talking about hugging, let's talk about that wonderful whiskey hug you get from Sagamore Spirits.
Okay.
Man, you're starting to sound like Nathan and his whole thing on pairing.
This is a hug. Well, wait till our pairing for the day.
So Sagamore Spirits right now is fairly unique in what they do because they do not offer a line of different whiskeys. All they do is rye whiskeys with lots of different interesting twists. So this Sagamore Spirits is a barrel select. Now, one misconception is that barrel select means single barrel. This is, in fact, not a single barrel rye whiskey, as we discussed earlier, because we know it's a blend. Barrel select means that one or more of the barrels in the blend were selected. For this one that we're drinking, it was selected by the Facebook group Pacific Northwest Bourbon Hounds.
Oh.
And they named it the Lost Rye of the West Coast.
Oh, boy. The Lost Rye.
Is that important?
Is that like Lost Boys?
No, it's just everybody tries to give their own bottle its own unique, funny name.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So I find Sagamore Spirits Barrel Select has a huge surge of honey, fennel, dill, peppermint, and dried citrus peel. It's a wonderful explosion of sweet and herbal rye flavors. Past all that rye is some roasted oak and cinnamon spice, as well as pancakey maple syrup. I keep putting this in blinds against other ryes, and it keeps winning for me. I really enjoy this rye. So if I get another 2 frickin' thumbs down, I'm not showing up next week.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Well, okay. It is actually tasting a little bit better as it's airing out.
Well, you're a liar.
No. Okay. Well, you know what? Mark?
You lie like a cheap AI.
No. Thanks for the mumble. Whiskey and technology are a great pairing, just like Tom and Jerry, an American animated media franchise.
That's your pairing?
And
You already
series.
used Tom and Jerry.
Well, created by, hang on here, the 2 best cartoon individuals in the 40s, William Hanna and Joseph Barbera. So that was the pairing. See, it's a Tom and Jerry, but it's also the animators that did that.
Are you sure?
Hanna-Barbera, yeah.
Hanna-Barbera did Tom and Jerry?
I'm 100% sure.
100% sure?
I'm 100% sure. As I would tell my wife, if I actually looked it up, that means it's 1,000% sure, because that means I did it myself. All right, let's get ready for our Technology Fail of the Week, brought to you by Elite Executive Services. Let's start that now.
We are out of time. Congratulations. You're a failure.
Oh. I failed, did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
All right, speaking about this week's Technology Fail, it comes to us from HBO. That's right, the media company home box office entertainment, and the chairman, Casey Bloys. The chief executive and chairman of HBO has admitted to tasking his staff with creating fake Twitter accounts to attack TV critics. Comes after Rolling Stone reported that Casey Bloys created a secret army to hit back at negative coverage. Mr. Blau apologized to the TV critics who were targeted at a recent press event. He said, Mr. Bloys. Okay. That's what I said. Bloys. I got it. And it said during the period he was asked, he was working from home and he was on an unhealthy amount of scrolling through Twitter. And I came up with a very dumb idea to vent my frustration, he said at the HBO event in New York last week. In text exchanges, Rolling Stones reported there was one occasion when a TV critic tweeted about the HBO period drama Perry Mason. Dear Prestige TV, please find some way to communicate male trauma besides showing me a flashback to the hero's memories of trench war. Mr. Bloys was seemingly annoyed, and according to text messages received by Rolling Stone, he sent the tweet to Kathleen McCaffrey, HBO's Senior Vice President of Drama Programming. I do apologize to people who were mentioned in the leaked text, he said. He added that he now sends direct messages to journalists if he has a negative feedback to provide them instead of on fake accounts. We're going to head out to our last commercial break. When we return, we have Mike's mesmerizing moment brought to us by Story Coffee and a possible Nathan Nugget. We'll see you after this break.
Hello, my name is Arthur, and my life's work is connecting people with coffee. Story Coffee is a small batch specialty coffee company that uses technology to connect people to each product resource, which allows farmers to unlock their economic freedom. Try our Medium Roast Founder Series coffee, which is an exotic bourbon variety that is smooth, fresh, and elegant at storycoffee.com. That's STORI coffee.com. Today you can get your first bag free when you subscribe at storycoffee.com with code TechTime. That's STORI coffee.com.
This is Mike's mesmerizing moment, presented by Story Coffee. Visit storycoffee.com.
All right, we're going to go right into talking about deep fakes. What person would you have a problem seeing in a deep fake?
Anybody.
Okay, well, is there like a specific person that would really kind of irritate you?
No, but this is all contextual stuff.
Okay.
All right. So if I go to a movie and I see somebody that's been de-aged, I'm fine with that because that's as long as it's part of the plot.
Okay.
Okay. I definitely don't want to see it appearing on like an ad for a dental thing,
Okay.
But, what comes to mind when you ask who I would personally not want to see deepfaked?
Yeah.
Just personally, you.
You would not want to see me deepfaked?
I don't want to see you deepfaked.
Because you just like my original version of me. So
yeah,
much
sure.
that you just keep on replaying the videos at home of our show.
No, I just don't need you talking about doppelgangers and
wow.
Stuff in a fake environment.
Okay, all right.
So would you say that you would prefer for the person that give their consent to do it? As it should be?
This is a hard question. This is a hard question because we're talking about a person's right to sell their rights, right?
Yep.
So if I'm an actor and they want to do deep fakes of me and I sell my rights to do so, which is part of that Black Mirror episode I was talking about earlier, that's problematic. But it's my right to do so, right? So that's a very difficult. We're entering into a place where the seams between reality and fantasy are becoming very blurred.
Yeah.
And it's going to create more problems than it solves. That's my big issue with it.
AI is interesting here. I'll just say I
AI
worked on
very interesting,
a film
but
with somebody. I just worked on a film with somebody.
Yeah.
And we produced all the dialogue after we had filmed everything, all by AI.
Yeah,
all of the AI.
And you could tell.
Okay, you could tell. You could tell a little bit. But you know what the comments that came back from that event were? That it was the only film that they could clearly hear the dialogue. So now all of a sudden,
sure.
if you fix that a little bit, now would you go and watch a movie with fake AI dialogue so it can be clearer and change the stuff?
It depends on the context.
Okay.
I don't want to interact with an AI when I call my bank. Okay, I want to interact
Comcast,
with a human.
ugh.
I cannot stand the way they put these filters in my way in order to get to what I need.
Okay.
And that's a standard practice of some of this stuff, but it's just getting more and more difficult to bypass these things. Because
I can
AI
see commercials in the next
just got
5 to 10
AI
years.
in my normal job.
Yeah, the next 5 to 10 years, I can see every commercial that you watch be of some celebrity that was AI generated.
Yeah, I'm
Right?
sure because with the deepfake technology, you can get anybody to say anything that you want them to say.
Yep.
So if you have somebody who is anti-abortion,
yep,
you can get that person to flip flop on the deepfake, and then it just confuses the message.
Yeah.
This is extremely problematic if not now, in the future. This is going to get worse and worse.
I'm glad you only want the original Nathan. I agree with you there.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
It's all about you, buddy.
That's right. Let's move on to our Nathan Nugget next.
This is your Nugget of the Week.
All right, we reviewed the best laptops of 2023. Do you want a new laptop before the holiday? Well, you just purchased one.
I just got one for my settlement.
And you got one, it's the high-end one, which we're going to talk about briefly here, but you got a high-end individual. What if you want a new PC? You got to order it before Black Friday because all these deals will be gone. We're giving you a little bit of a head start here. If you get it now, you can get it on that list. We're going to talk with the Dell XPS 13 as our best overall laptop. This Dell model has a 13-inch laptop to screen. It's popularized with a standard full-size keyboard. It's lightweight and compact. It's essentially only 0.55 inches thick, so it's not even an inch thick, and it starts at just 2.59 pounds, not 200 pounds, 2.59 pounds. It's a great build quality with a keyboard that feels great to touch. Dell promises 12 hours battery life while streaming video, although it depends on what you're actually doing with that, so I don't know what type of video you'd be streaming at 12 hours, but I guess if you want to do a Lord of the Rings marathon, you can do it all on one battery charge. If you're a Linux fan, you're in luck because Dell offers a version of that PC that comes with Linux also.
You should have in your time deal, you should have talked about the first portable compact that we looked at.
Oh, we'll have to talk about it one this time.
That was like, what, 5 pounds?
No, 7.5.
7.5
Yeah, I had one
pounds.
of those. I had one of the compact luggables.
Of course you did.
I had it at Microsoft.
It's like a
I took it on a trip.
A freaking box.
I took it on a trip once, and that sucker made it through checked baggage. and
Oh.
still worked. All right,
Really?
okay. All right, best budget laptop. You have $630 or less. Go to Best Buy right now and look for the Acer Aspire Vero. It's essentially a 13th generation i5, not an i3 processor, which most of these sub $700 price tags come with. So this would be an i5. You get 8 gigs of RAM and 512 gigabytes of storage. It's a complete package capable of chewing through heavy workloads, except for gaming. Understand that this does not have a gaming resolution, but it does have a 15.6-inch display, and it's a full resolution of 1920 by 1080. So if you're watching a full standard DVD and full HD, you can watch it full screen without having to minimize or enlarge the actual graphic option itself. The next we have is a best gaming unit. You can choose one of two companies. Either choose a Dell Alienware or a Lenovo Legion Pro. These costs vary from $3K to $5K per unit. How much does your unit cost?
About $4,000.
So it depends. Again, if you spend $5,000, $6,000, even up to $7,000 on a gaming laptop, it's probably going to be the top of the line because you spent so much money and your graphics are good and all this type of deal.
Yeah,
I have
mine's
never bought a
mine's pretty sweet
gaming unit in my life. I've always bought a second or third.
I know
version
you're
of
always that's the weird thing about you is that you're all about technology, but you always buy it 2 years old.
Well, that's a little bit cheaper that way.
Well,
all
yeah,
right.
that's smart. That's
smart.
That
Is that what you're saying? You don't want me to be Dave faked and you love me being
cheap.
No, he's smart.
Cheap
You said it too.
His frugalness.
All right, student
Frugalness,
laptop. If you want to purchase a laptop, the best available option out there is the MacBook Air M2. I have a M2 MacBook Pro in front of me right now that I use each and every day. Apple has transformed its airline.
You should get Mark's opinion on that.
Well, he doesn't like Macs. All right, that's all right. It's a 13-inch Apple laptop. The M2 is perfect, but if you want to save a little bit of money, you can also look at the M1 13-inch MacBook Air, which is still plenty of performance at half the price of the M2. They just released the M3 stuff because I got an email today about that. All right.
Well, that's nice.
And now, let's move to our pick of the day.
And now our pick of the day for our whiskey tastings. Let's see what bubbles to the top.
Yeah, your computer picks are like your whiskey picks.
Oh, wow.
Gaming laptop for $3,000 to $5,000. My daughter just got one. Works great. 1.2.
Well, what'd she buy?
Asus.
An Asus?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not
all right.
separate video card.
Okay.
What's your video card?
It's a NVIDIA. NVIDIA. Thank you.
So I've got
I'm here to
I've got
correct
an
English.
RTX 4090. Well,
okay.
That's pretty good, right?
That is pretty good. All right, well, tell us about the whiskey we're tasting. You know my prices are good. You know I'm a value shopper. I put a Dell in there. I put a Mac in there.
Oh, my wife has that Dell. It does not last 12 hours watching videos.
That's what they promise.
They promise, yeah. You promise a lot of things too.
Wow.
You know the Leaf promised 80 miles and when
got
they
like
came
40.
out they only got like
yeah.
20.
So take all that with a grain of salt. That's all.
Okay.
Not real world.
All right.
We are drinking. Well, first of all, it's Hug a Person Day. So virtual hug to Greg McNabb and a real hug for Nathan.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Wow.
There we go.
Mark's trying to make up for what he just said.
I got to show a
about
little
me.
love.
Okay, there you go.
I don't know. I'm feeling
want me-
a little
here you
awkward.
go.
No, I don't
I'll
want.
fill you in.
I'm not left out. I'm feeling awkward. Go away.
All right.
All right. We are drinking Sagamore Spirit Cast Strength Rye Barrel Select. It is from the Pacific Northwest Bourbon Hounds, called the Lost Rye of the West Coast.
All right. Well, we're going to go with Mike first. Are you giving this a thumbs up or thumbs
I'm
down?
going to give it a thumbs up.
Are you going to give it a thumbs up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why-
And I'm going to tell you why.
Why?
This is not an out of the bottle sip. As soon as I poured it out of the bottle and took my first sip, I was like, absolutely not. But as it sat there throughout the show and calmed down a little bit, the taste and the flavor really came out. So I'm gonna give it a thumbs up.
All right. Now, I'm always going to give stuff thumbs up. I mean, it has to be really bad if I don't like alcohol.
He wants to give it a thumbs down.
Right?
'Cause you saw that face every time he took a sip.
No, I didn't. Not the last time. I just took a drink of it. It was just fine. So I'm actually going to give it a thumbs up. I would enjoy this sipping on out, but it does have a very strong bite.
It's a real rye.
It is a real rye.
Yeah.
And is this on your shelves at home?
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, I've been doing this blind against about 6-7 other ryes, and it's won every time.
I don't think I would have this on my shelf.
I don't
but
not for 60 or 70 bucks. There's some other stuff you brought in
start.
that I think is much better that I personally like.
Yeah,
but
I find this with the 7 years on the age on it, it's much more complex. There's a lot more to tease out in it. and you can just sit there for an hour and just sip on it and get each sip. You can get something a little different.
All right. Well, for all of you out there, it was an honor to be the host of today's show. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you give us a 5-star review on whatever podcast service you may use. Also, for those that would like to get a part of the show, you can always click on our homepage and click on the Be a Caller and ask us a technology question, and we'll answer that on the air or talk to you in our callback system.
Put in the chat or the comments what whiskeys you want us to review.
There you go. Remember, the science of tomorrow starts with the technology of today. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on TechTime Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment today in technology. The fun doesn't stop there. We recommend that you go to TechTimeRadio.com and join our fan list for the most important aspect of staying connected and winning some really great monthly prizes. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service, from Apple to Google and everything in between. We're also on YouTube, so check us out on youtube.com/TechTimeRadio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at TechTime Radio, remember, mum's the word. Have a safe and fantastic week.